Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for the TNA Event Center report. And now here's the man to give you all the total non-stop action and impactful report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode 2200. That's right, we are at that episode. Yay! Episode 2200. First of all, I want to apologize to my rant and rave colleagues for having to leave the podcast, the stream, a little earlier than expected. I know they were my good friend Jordy Scout, who's on vacation, sent us a 3-part video about his thoughts on WrestleMania 41 overall, and we do appreciate him, but coming in, having the video and talking about WrestleMania, good video overall. Check it out. Check the episode out. I do apologize. I had to go to another podcast, which is the weekly baseball rundown, and again, it's been a rough week for me, but I'm gonna recover mentally. I'm gonna get back. I want to try to get back to myself, and it's been a crazy week all week. I'm glad the week's almost over. Probably April vacation, and everybody's out of school, driving me bonkers. You know what I mean? It's like somebody get a life, whammo. Anyways, I want to get to talking about the TNA, the final TNA before Rebellion. It's crazy things happen in wrestling. You go from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, and it's been a crazy week in professional wrestling, to say the least. And I'm telling you, it gets even crazier because tomorrow we still got the SmackDown after Mania. So that's going to be very interesting. It's a rumored return of one Aleister Black. So if he comes back, I think something's going to happen. Something bad is going to go down, and believe me, it ain't going to be fun for anybody. Well, Matt Hardy, is in his broken state of mind, invites the Nemets to the Hardy compound. What's going to happen there? When it comes to the Hardy compound, stranger things have happened all around. Trust me on this one. Tag action, Ace Austin and Trey Miguel. Now here's why they're teaming up, because Zachary Wentz has been taken out by the system. And went up against Moose and JDC. Moose, the X Division champ. And Alicia Edwards, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers got involved in the matchup, costing Ace Austin and Trey Miguel the matchup. And so Masha Slamovich addresses being the champion, and comes to find out, I believe Johnny Rodz was attacked by Texas Blanchard. There was a rumor going around about that. And Tommy Dreamer pep talked Slamovich, and Mike Santana ended up in a share group about addiction and all, and he was addressing Mustafa Ali. And as he got up and walked out, the rest of the share group just looked at him, and he looked back at him. He said, I'm still going to fight, and I'll fight for them. And you know what? Mike Santana has earned my respect. He says he's got a little girl he's going to fight for. I'll tell you one thing, Mustafa Ali, you made a big mistake screwing around with Mike Santana and making things personal with him, and you're going to get yours. I don't care if you, Tasha, and the Great Hands call yourself the Order 4. It'll be no Order 4 when Mike Santana gets done with Mustafa Ali. Well, the Elegance brand is kind of scared to face time with Ash by Elegance, because Heather by Elegance, under pressure, has been placed. The Elegance brand has been placed in a fatal 4-way for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. That's right. I believe Spitfire is one of the teams, and I also do believe that Gigi, Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan are involved, and along with the Metal Girls. The Metal Girls should be galvanized by the return of Noam Dar this past Tuesday night, and Noam Dar becoming once again the NXT Heritage Cup champion. So the question is, will we go back to those Heritage Cup rules, the British rules, rounds rules? It's up to Noam Dar how he wants to play it, so we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Ariana Grace joins on commentary as JC Jane went one-on-one with Rosemary, and both members of the Fatal Influence, Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley, get involved, and JC Jane ended up winning the matchup. But then they were about to attack Rosemary after the matchup, and Isaiah Brookside and Lei Ying Lee gets involved to chase away Fatal Influence as they were retreating. retreating. Santino Marella comes out and said, hey, I'm making this a 6-woman tag. It will be Fatal Influence versus a team of Rosemary, Lei Ying Lee, and Xia Brookside. I had 2 Xias, and I think because Lei Ying Lee was known as Xia Lee back in NXT and in the WWE. And the Nemeth brothers encounter Willow, one of the personas of Jeff Hardy. You know, why couldn't it be Itchweed? Anyways, so the Nemeths did arrive at the compound, and Nick Nemeth and Jeff Hardy decide to brawl, but Matt Hardy brawls with Ryan, and then Nick Nemeth enters the Hardy house and steals the tag team belt. Ryan Nemeth enters their movie. I can't believe Matt Hardy owns a movie theater. Imagine you go over their house and go, hey, I want to watch a movie. Let's say Queen of the Ring with Tony Storm in it. But so he ended up getting a ticket stub with Senior Benjamin. Sits down with his grandkids. And it's a movie that was produced by Maxwell Hardy. It was a silent movie. A movie that timeless Tony Storm would approve of. You know. And give it a thumbs up. And I know my man Dan, a.k.a. House of Rebellion, said he wants to see Tony Storm back in the WWE. You know, in this, if she takes her character, if she decides to take her character with her being timeless, I see some serious payback on Charlotte Flair. And I think also Tony Storm, they can get real psychological with the timeless gimmick. And that's why I think another thing too that she adds a new dimension to it. And believe me, she'll need it all can get. Anyway, so after the movie, Ryan never ends up in a couch talking to Dr. Wolfie, which is hilarious. Dr. Wolfgang Hardy was acting like a psychologist doctor. It was hilarious. It was great. I love it. You know, and Nick Nemeth becomes Nemeth becomes a goth dude while confronting Rebby Hardy and the goth baby, and as he argues with the guy, he's arguing with a kid. We're getting Detective Towers. No, we're getting them. No, we're getting them. No, it was hilarious. I loved it. Ryan Nemeth looks like an idiot arguing with a kid. Reminds me of that Liberty commercial, you know. It's Liberty, Bibberty, Liberty, Bibberty, Liberty, Bibberty, the male model himbo versus a little 2-year-old kid it's all Bibberty, it's Liberty, you idiot. I don't know what's worse. Ryan Nemeth arguing with a little kid, the Bibberty guy arguing with a 2-year-old, or Ben Wilner's strange noises. I don't know what the heck that goes on. Oh, I'm cracking myself up here. Anyways, and then I think well, Matt Hardy was brawling with one of the Nemeth brothers. I think Ryan in a pool, and he's trying to drown Ryan Nemeth. Nick Nemeth asked both tag team belts, but one of Matt's kids stopped him. I think it was Maxwell, I think. And then both Nemeth brothers they jump on Matt Hardy, and then Jeff Hardy comes up in his brother Nero outfit, and they ran away with the tag titles. I don't know if they still had the tag titles. We know they're not the champions. The Hardys are. So Rebellion's going to be a lot of fun. And Ace Austin and Trey Miguel, they were calling somebody because they're fed up with the system interfering. They're calling up WB Hall of Famer Sean Waltman to back them up. So, which is great. And Tessa Blanchard went one-on-one with Misa Kate. Blanchard ended up winning the matchup, but then Masha Slamovich attacking Blanchard after the match. She was getting vicious, I think, after hearing that her trainer and mentor was attacked by Tessa Blanchard. You never know for sure. And then Steve Macklin was writing in a journal, sitting at a campfire. Eric Young sits next to him, and they would talk about the the international title match, and so they did a toast to each other and drank up. Then the recap: Joe Hendry at WrestleMania and NXT. Joe Hendry, the first TNA wrestler to appear at WrestleMania. WrestleMania. That's probably the biggest deal ever. You know, you talk about WrestleMania Night 2 was a night of firsts. You got both Lucha brothers, Penta and Rey Fenix, attending their first WrestleMania. Alicia Taylor talked about attending her first WrestleMania. Io Sky becomes the first Japanese woman, Japanese Joshi wrestler to win at WrestleMania, because the Jumping Bomb Angels weren't part of WrestleMania. Neither was Bull Nakano or Asia Kong, who wrestled in the WWE before. Neither was, Asuka was involved in WrestleMania, so was Kairi Sane, but they didn't pick up a victory. But the fact of the matter is this Io Sky was the first one. And with her parents and sister in attendance, they were very happy about that. Really proud. Even Stone Cold Steve Austin gave Io a lot of props. Check out the behind-the-scenes WrestleMania. And having Io Sky, having Stone Cold Steve Austin talk to Io Sky, that probably had made her day. And if I know Io Sky, Io Sky is probably on cloud 9 right now. And we all know what happened in Raw after Mania. She got blindsided by Roxanne Perez. If Roxanne Perez was rejected to Raw, I see Roxanne Perez trying to stalk out Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. If Io can retain against Rhea Ripley, that could be the case. Then you got Julia feud with Io Sky is another thing. We saw, Stephanie Vaquer, and that whole thing is crazy, man. So, Joe Hendry at WrestleMania and NXT. I think Joe Hendry is looking for bigger fish to fry at NXT, mainly Opa Femi. But the tag team, speaking of Joe Hendry, the TNA World Champ, teaming up with a former WWE superstar and Elijah, who was known as Elias then, against the team of Mr. Call Your Shot winner Frankie Kazarian and Ethan Page, Mr. All Ego from NXT as well. And in the end, Elijah and Hendry picked up the victory over the arrogant, egotistical duo of Kazarian and Page. Well, that is the final TNA Impact report before Rebellion this coming Sunday. I'll probably be watching that, and I'll be addressing that. And tomorrow we got the game of Strategy, Luck, Knowledge, and Daring Bullseye coming up, and also SmackDown. So I'm going to have a little bit of fun. Now, providing I get home and get out at 11, which I'm hoping to. Like I said, this week's been a stressful week. It's been a crazy week, and I can't wait for it to end, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a mental one on me for a long time. Again, I do apologize to the good folks over my Rant and Rate colleagues for leaving the broadcast early. I always try to stick around, but I was needing another podcast, and like I said, it has not been easy trying to do 2 podcasts in one night, and it's been crazy. So, thank you for tuning in, folks, for episode 2200, and I will see you on the next episode of the show. So, until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.